In the world of shooters, there are weapons that help you win, and then there are weapons that prove you're better. In 1997, id Software introduced a weapon that stripped away the luck of splash damage and the prediction of leading rockets. It asked the player one simple question: can you hit a single pixel from 1,000 yards? It's the gold standard of precision. It's sleek, it's cold, and its signature blue spiral is the last thing thousands of players ever saw. Today we're looking at the Railgun from Quake 2. All sources used for this video will be linked down in the description below. I'd love to hit 500 subs by March because that's when my birthday is. So like, sub, do all the YouTube stuff. It's greatly appreciated. Let's get into it. The Railgun is the definition of high risk, high reward. Here are the stats. Projectile, single shot slug. The Railgun is essentially a sniper. So one projectile per shot. Damage, 150 for the original single player campaign. In Quake 2's 2023 remaster, that damage has been reduced down to 125 for the single player experience. But in multiplayer, it's 100 damage. In Quake 2 multiplayer, players start with 100 health. Unless they have armor, the Railgun is a one-shot kill machine. Projectile speed. The Railgun is a hit-scan weapon. What that means is the slug draws a line from the gun to wherever you're aiming and hits instantly the moment you fire it. And there's no bullet spread variable. It's 100% accurate wherever you aim and shoot it. Some additional stats. Its rate of fire is 1.5 seconds. This is the risk. In a game as fast as Quake, 1.5 seconds is an eternity. If you miss, you are completely vulnerable. Ammo type, slugs. These aren't as plentiful compared to shells or bullets, so make your shots count. And the Railgun is also known as Rail for short. Unlike the rocket launcher we covered in episode 1, there is zero travel time. The moment you click, the game checks a straight line from your crosshair to infinity. If an enemy is in that line, they take damage instantly. In 1997, this felt like lightning in your hands. Not to be confused with the lightning gun from Quake. In the Quake 2 arsenal, the Railgun is essentially a sniper rifle. While the rocket launcher is for area control and the Hyper Blaster is for sustained pressure, the Railgun is for precision assassination. It is also the map controller. If you hold the Railgun and a good vantage point, you effectively shut down long corridors and open spaces, forcing your enemies to change how they move through the map. id Software balanced this absolute power through 3 key pillars: cooldown, reveal, and skill. The 1.5 second reload delay means if you miss your first shot in a close quarters fight, you're almost certainly dead before the second one is ready. And then there's the trail. That iconic blue spiral isn't just for show. It acts as a giant neon sign pointing directly back to your position. As a side note, this gun was totally inspired by the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie called Eraser, in which a railgun with similar traits was featured during its grand finale fight scene. Check it out if you haven't watched it. It's an Arnold classic. And finally, there is zero splash damage. You either hit your target perfectly, or you do zero damage. There is no middle ground. So let's talk about the art and design. The design of the Railgun is just brilliantly minimalist. It doesn't look like a traditional gun. It looks like a scientific instrument designed for execution. It's a heavy metallic block, a huge coil tube, and some glowy tech on it. A portable electromagnetic accelerator. Quake 2 was a huge improvement from Quake 1, so more polygons and higher texture fidelity really went a long way in making the Railgun just look amazing. Listen to this. The sound design is legendary. It doesn't bang like a gunpowder weapon. It cracks the air. That sharp electrical sound tells everyone on the map two things. Someone just fired a railgun, and someone else is probably dead. Additionally, when the gun is not being fired, it lets out a very subtle humming sound. If keen players are listening in, they could hear you when you're nearby. We also have to talk about the spiral trail because the weapon is hit scan and therefore invisible to the eye. Its software added a blue corkscrewing particle trail. This wasn't just for style. It served as a tracer that showed exactly where the shot came from, giving opponents a chance to locate the sniper. It became the most iconic visual in the Quake franchise. What makes this weapon great is that it changed the meta of first-person shooter games. Before the railgun, most first-person shooter combat was about movement and leading targets with projectiles. The railgun introduced the flick shot. It rewarded raw twitch reflex. It became the ultimate skill check in early esports. If you could rail, you were a god. If you couldn't, you were just a target. It also enforced better map control. In maps like The Edge, the railgun dictates how everyone moves. You don't just casually run across the map when a railgun is in play. It added a layer of tactical fear to the game that changed Quake from a brawler into a sort of psychological thriller. In regards to its legacy, it's the father of the Quake 3 railgun, including Quake 4s and Quake Champions, the Halo sniper rifle, and even influenced how one-tap weapons work in modern games like Counter-Strike or Valorant. It proved that a weapon doesn't need to be flashy or explosive to be the most satisfying thing in the game. So, what makes the railgun from Quake 2 a great weapon? The Quake 2 railgun is a masterpiece of balance. It gives you the power of an FPS god, but only if you have the aim of a surgeon. It's honest and it's brutal, and it's probably the reason why a lot of first-person shooter enthusiasts spend hours in aim trainers today. It's the ultimate expression of skill in an arena shooter, and it's arguably the most perfect weapon id Software has ever created. What do you think of the railgun in Quake 2? Do you prefer the faster reload of Quake 3 Arena's railgun? And can you recall a flick shot moment that you had when playing an online match that changed the tide and won you the game? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And stay tuned because our next weapon is not only epic, but it is essentially the antithesis of the railgun. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, share it with friends, and subscribe for more great gaming content. And if you're looking for more, check out this recommended video right here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.